Kiki TV. I became a holistic psychotherapist because I used holistic psychotherapy in my own journey. I'm an abuse survivor. The textbook response to being abused is to be reckless with yourself. And at a certain point, I decided I wanted to heal myself. And when I did that, I combined spirituality and psychology. And it was the combination of these two things that really brought me to a new state of mind and a happy, healthy life. It made me understand my mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and that all of that is connected. And if one is not good, they are all not good. I'm going to give you some examples of how I healed myself spiritually and psychologically. One of the most transformational things that I did was I began to meditate. But at the same time that I started to meditate, I began to chant. My first chant I actually learned from Wayne Dyer. And he, by the way, is a spiritual psychologist. God rest his soul. He really helped me to find my soul purpose. This is called your throat chakra. You have all these spiritual power centers called chakras that go up the middle of your body. Your throat chakra is really important for obviously communication. And I could not communicate. If you're abused, you learn very quickly to not speak in order to survive. Because if you talk, it may make it worse. So I never talked about what I thought. I never talked about how I felt. I never stood up for myself. I just became like completely shut down. And through chanting sacred words, it began to open up my communication. It opened up my throat chakra. I found my voice. Chanting has been one of the most transformative things that I've ever done for my healing. So I became a meditation chanting teacher in order to help other people, other abuse victims, to find their voice. Meditation really changed the way that I see the world, the way that I saw myself, the way that I saw other people, the way that I saw my past, the way that I saw my future. It just teaches you that no matter what life brings you, you can handle it. Because life is like this. It's definitely an ocean with waves, and meditation taught me how to surf, metaphorically speaking. I was drowning before. I learned how to surf the waves of life. So it taught me how to cope with life, and that I was powerful, and that nothing lasts, not happiness and not sadness, that you just sort of, if you stay non-reactive and go through life, everything will be much better. That's what meditation taught me. When you're abused, we leave our bodies. So spirituality says our souls leave our bodies while in the middle of abuse, because if we stayed in our bodies, our souls would disintegrate. So we leave so we don't have to feel it. Psychology calls that disassociation. Either way, yoga taught me how to be grounded in my body, and that my body was safe, and that my body was powerful, and that it could do amazing and beautiful things. And then there's cellular trauma. And cellular trauma is like literally when trauma seeps into our cells. And unchecked, that cellular trauma ends up becoming disease. Yoga helped me relate to my body in a healthy way, because the abuse made me relate to my body in an unhealthy way. I mean, basically, when you're treated badly, you start to feel like you're not worthy of love. That's why people that are abused go on to abuse themselves, because we don't think that we're worthy of actual love. And then there was my favorite, the hands-on healing modalities. There's Reiki, and then there's harmonium, for example. And these two healings really changed everything for me. I mean, harmonium in particular, it helped me to stop being addicted. It helped me to start being kind to myself. It helped me to find love for myself so that I could stop being self-destructive. All of a sudden, like, my third eye started blossoming. So learning about and trying different healing modalities like Jinshin Jitsu, sound healing, it's just whatever works for you. And just for the record, spirituality means whatever the client is into. It's not one size fits all. It doesn't mean Christian or Jewish or Muslim. It's whatever is the spirituality of the client and whatever they're comfortable with. I found a therapist who was like heaven sent, because he really understood me. A part of what therapy does is I was abused, and so I didn't understand that it was wrong because I was kind of brainwashed to think that I was crazy. This therapist, I would say things out loud and he would look like, which meant I wasn't crazy and that it was really messed up what was happening. He validated my feelings. So I started getting better. And there are studies that say that just speaking your feelings helps you to heal. So I learned that I was unhappy. I learned how to get better. I learned what I wanted for my life and what I didn't want for my life. I figured out who I was, and all of a sudden I was blossoming into this me. I was blossoming into me. So therapy was major in my recovery. His name was John Nickerson. And I cannot thank John Nickerson enough. He really helped me to save my own life. And that guy sent me to AA. And AA was a spiritual solution to addiction. So you have to take your own inventory. What do you need to change? How do you need to grow? That would be the therapy part. But also, you have to admit that you have a problem and that you're powerless and that you need the help of higher power or universe to get better. So you see, even the 12-step program was both spiritual and psychological. When I was finally better, I went to grad school and I decided I was going to get a master's degree and become a psychotherapist, but also become a healer, a Reiki master, a harmonium practitioner, a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher. And I'm so happy to pay it forward in my private practice as a holistic psychotherapist. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, you can heal.